Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. Before the video begins, I would like to apologize ahead of time for all of the disruption and noise that you may hear on the video. It is something that I cannot cut out. It already happened and I did not want to remake the video. So please excuse a lot of the noise in the video towards the end. Thank you. So today's video is going to be about a phrase that many light-skinned women are very familiar with. Either it has been directed at you or you have heard someone else say it, either about you or about somebody else. And usually this phrase is coming from a darker African American or Black American female or woman. Okay, this is usually who the comment's coming from. Every now and then you'll hear some guys say it, but for the most part, this is a phrase that is predominantly coming from the darker skinned Black women or girls. So the phrase is, she thinks she's all that because she's light-skinned. Oh yeah, that oh so famous phrase. Another remix of that phrase, she thinks she's cute because she's light-skinned. Now, I really don't know when this phrase started. I'm pretty sure that this phrase has been around for a long time. Probably, all the way back to the slave days, okay? I do believe that this phrase started, in the slave days, because in those days, women who were light-skinned actually received their job post in the slave owner's house, and the darker Black Americans had the outside jobs. So I am pretty confident that this phrase began back then. Okay, so this phrase, it's become so constant in the Black community. It's become so normal that the Black community and people in the Black community act like it's acceptable. Okay? They act like it's acceptable. And we are in 2024. If you are still saying this phrase, she thinks she's all that because she's light-skinned, you really need to stop. You need to stop because it's 2024. There are plenty of dark-skinned women, brown-skinned women that look fabulous, okay? Do they say that about her? She thinks she's all that because she's dark-skinned, or she thinks she's all that because she's brown-skinned? No. And I have seen dark-skinned women, I'm talking about really, really dark-skinned women who, have this superiority complex towards light-skinned women. Like off the back, like as soon as they meet them. And this is because, there are a lot of dark-skinned women that feel like, they are the epitome of beautiful in the Black community because they are, I guess, full Black, not mixed with anything. Their skin is dark. Again, that quote, darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. A lot of Black Americans still hold true to that. And there are a lot of Black women that have a superiority complex towards light-skinned women. Now, me speaking as a light-skinned Black American woman, this phrase always just got on my nerves. You know, it didn't like make me angry or it didn't hurt my feelings or anything. It just always got on my nerves because, okay, so what? I think I'm cute. So what? I think I look good today. Yes, I got my hair done. Okay, my makeup's on point. My outfit's on point. I'm working out. My body's looking good. Yeah, I think I'm all that. Yeah. I'm very proud of the work that I've been putting into myself. But why does it have to be associated with because you're light skinned? So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I believe this comment is stated so much in the Black community and against light-skinned women. And again, everything on my channel is all my own personal opinion. It's also my opinion, my perspective, coming from a light-skinned Black woman that has grown up in the United States of America, and my experience as a light-skinned woman. So, you know, if you don't agree with a lot of the talking points that I make, this may not be the channel for you, and you may just not be able to relate to my content. I do hope that my content relates to my target audience, you know, which is light-skinned women, or ambiguous women. And if you do not consider yourself either of those, again, you're still welcome to listen to my content. I hope that my content informs you, you know, on different perspectives and just brings different information to you and educates you a little bit on a light-skinned woman's perspective. So the first reason that I do believe that this ridiculous comment is perpetrated against the light-skinned Black woman. The first one is history. Like I said, this statement, I do believe that it began in the era of slavery. In the era of slavery, light-skinned Black women were, I guess you could say, like promoted. Well, I wouldn't call it a promotion because we were still slaves. But there were some benefits to being, you know, placed in the home, air conditioned, you know, being able to eat, you know, with the slave owners, having access to other things, having access to conversations, having access to just a lot more than if we were outside, okay? And if you've ever been outside in the heat, you know that's not fun. You're sweating, you know, it's hot, you're thirsty. So the light-skinned women, they did have that benefit that they did not have to experience that. And not only the light-skinned women, the light-skinned men as well. That was a benefit. A lot of the light-skinned people that were born back in that time, of course, were created through rape. So that's never a good thing, you know, but it is what it is. A lot of them were created. Their shade, their tone was created through rape. So a lot of the light-skinned slaves that were in the home, the slave owner usually was their father. And, you know, although he was a slave owner and evil and, you know, not a good person, he did, a lot of the times, he did acknowledge the fact that he did create these children and that they were of his bloodline. And so that was the least that he could do for them, was to allow them to not be outside with the rest of the slaves. And it was also a way to distinguish their status, that they were, quote unquote, I guess better or not like the rest of the slaves. And so that is definitely where it started, And so a lot, today, a lot of women and just a lot of Black people, period, they still have that mindset that when they see a light-skinned person, I do believe that they automatically look at many light-skinned people like, okay, you're privileged. You're automatically privileged because you were born light-skinned. I do think that a lot of Black Americans automatically look at light skins like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you come from as a light skinned person. It doesn't matter if you live in the hood as a light skinned person. It doesn't matter if you have money as a light skinned person. I just think that is just something that is ingrained in many Black Americans' mindsets. So that's the first one, is history. The second reason that I do believe that this statement is perpetrated against the light-skinned woman in America is due to their own lack of self-esteem and appreciation for their own skin tone and just appreciation for who they are. I think that society, I think that movies, TVs, especially videos like hip hop, I think hip hop really just did a number on the Black community. I think hip hop really just enhanced stereotypes in the Black community. And a lot of these rappers, throughout the years would just elevate light-skinned women, I don't know if they were doing this purposefully, maybe they were just finally able to have access to their preference. And so those were the type of women that they wanted to put in the videos. Those were the type of women that they, wanted to sing about on their songs. But over the years, it's like every hip hop song you would hear was like talking about a light-skinned woman, and then even if they weren't talking about it in the songs, you would see it on the video, so they said a lot with that, just by having light-skinned women in their videos a lot. And a lot of the times they were mixed women, not even just simply light-skinned Black women. A lot of times they were mixed. You can clearly tell these were mixed women. And so I think that kind of helped elevate the stereotype and just mess with the minds of Black women, because it's like every time they turn around, they see a guy singing or rapping about having a light-skinned woman. So I think that really did damage to a lot of Black women, and they never really learned how to separate TV from real life. And so it's like when they would interact with light-skinned women in real life, they just have this automatic attitude towards them. Like, oh, she thinks she's all that because she's light-skinned, So basically entertainment. I think entertainment and, society and the media has helped kind of frame their mind frame. And then the last reason that I think that a lot of Black women make this comment towards light-skinned women, and I saved this one for last because I think this is one of the biggest ones, it's the Black man's gaze. Point blank, period. It's the Black man's gaze. Black women want the Black man's gaze on them. And especially if you are a dark-skinned woman, and I'm not saying that all dark-skinned women like, Black men, because you do have some Black women, period, that don't even date Black men. You have Black women that only date white men or only date out of their race. But I'm just speaking of majority of black women, prefer a black man. And if we're speaking on an unambiguous black woman, um, she is not going to like the black man's gaze going towards a light-skinned woman if she is in her presence. That makes them very, very jealous. That makes them very insecure, and that makes them very, very jealous. And it's almost like they feel like they are automatically in a competition with us when we step in the room, because they feel like, oh, this black man is gonna be looking at her because she's light skinned. So they have the women have that attitude towards us because they automatically look at us as competition as soon as we come in their presence. It doesn't matter how friendly you are to them. It doesn't matter how respectful you are to them. They are looking at you like competition. And they can fake it all they want, okay? And I'm not saying all, because, you do have some black women. Let me just put this out there. You do have some unambiguous black women who are very confident in their own skin. They're very confident in the tone, the skin tone that they have and everything. And they rock it, okay? They could care less about a light-skinned woman being around. They are focused on themselves. And if I was a dark-skinned woman, trust that I would be the same way. Because you have to work with what God gave you. So I do, applaud any woman, not just dark-skinned women or brown-skinned women. I applaud any woman who just accepts who she is. She accepts this is the race, this is the ethnicity that the Lord gave me, and I'm going to work it. I'm going to work it. I'm going to appreciate it, and this is it. I'm going to work with what I have. And so those are the main 3 reasons that I think that this ridiculous comment is forced upon light-skinned women so much. And I think that it's just ridiculous. It really is. It's just ridiculous. Light-skinned women are not black women's enemy. We're not. Light-skinned women cannot help that they were born light-skinned. Like, we have no control over that. We can't help it. Many of us, our ancestors, were not full black. So we have an admixture of various bloodlines running through us. And so that is going to affect the shade when you're born. And there are many of us light-skinned women out here that understand that. And we have no problem with it. And it is what it is, okay? And you just have to learn to appreciate the way that God made you. I think that there is a lot of light-skinned guilt in a lot of light-skinned women. I think that if you do have light-skinned guilt, you need to get rid of that right now. And you need to accept the way you are. You need to appreciate your skin tone. There are so many benefits to being light-skinned, and I'll make a video about that in the future. And, it's not even about like, oh, we get better privileges and we get this and we get that. It's not even about that. I'm just speaking on the benefits of being light-skinned. When you're light-skinned, you can tan. In the summertime, you can get, if you feel like you want to tan your whole body, you can go to the tanning spa and get dark, and if you want to, get lighter in the winter, we can get lighter in the winter. We can wear a lot of different shades. We can really wear any color of makeup that we absolutely want to. So we can literally change our look up every day and look like somebody different. So those are just a couple of the benefits of being light-skinned. So, and there's benefits of being dark-skinned, but my channel is not about that. My channel focuses on uplifting light-skinned people, uplifting light-skinned women in the world, and that is what I'm going to continue to do on this channel. So, if you are light-skinned and proud of it, type below. LSPI. Type below LSPI. That stands for light skin and proud of it. Because guess what? We are light skinned and proud of it over here, honey. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe.